Hey, bud. Hey, look alive. I
So,
got my, hey, you know how the kids now they go, yes, like my head explodes. Anyways, sorry. I digress again.
some of the lessons learned at our vision retreat, uh, one that it had always resonated with me, but more deeply so after the retreat, because we sat there listening and thinking a lot.
Yes.
And it was the Rick Rubin idea that our images, our art is a diary entry. And
Yeah.
I started using that to test my, I guess, my philosophies.
Hmm.
So
How do
if
you
I,
mean?
well, I've created an image and it's a diary entry.
Okay.
And what if I want to go and ask someone what they think of the image, or would they critique it or tell me what they would do with it? So I ask myself, would I submit my diary entry to be
Mhm.
critiqued? Would I go and say, John, would you read this diary entry and tell me if I sounded sincere or if I wrote it well? No.
It sounds
Should I
terrible.
enter that image into a contest? Well, would I enter my diary entry into a competition to see how it fared against other people's diary entries?
Gosh, that you haven't come up with that one yet. That's a good one.
Would I study another person's diary entry before writing my own? So I finished the day. I'm going to sit down and write my diary entry. And I go, John, can I borrow your diary entry and see how you wrote it so I can see how I'm going to write mine tonight? No.
Gosh, it's
Uh, should I borrow other people's diary entries ideas? No. A diary entry is something personal. It's
very
something
personal.
expressive of how you're feeling, right or wrong. And I would never do those things with a diary entry. So if my art is a diary entry, why would I do it with it?
Yeah. I think that's a powerful metaphor. I mean, to think about, if that's the right word, I mean, to think about how would you share your diary entry? Or conversely, would you ask somebody to share their diary with you so that you can learn? And that's the argument, right? The argument is always I can learn from other people. I can be inspired by other people and all that. But if you are truly wanting to make personally expressive photographs and move towards artist, is that really what you want to be doing?
I think as a photographer, it might work.
Of
I
course.
want to make better images. Tell me what you think of my image. Tell me what you would do with this image. Show me what you've done here at this location, and maybe I can get some new ideas. As a photographer, that works. But as an artist, as a personally expressive artist, I just don't think that. I think that's exactly the opposite of what you ought to be doing.
You know, and it's interesting, what's just popped into my mind is Stephen Covey for some reason. His wonderful book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which I really, really loved. It was, I would call it a transformative book that I read. And one of the key things that comes out of there is the courage it takes to practice some of those habits, because they're while they're human, some of them can be hard. Habit number five, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's so contrary oftentimes to how a human is. You just want to be understood. Period. Why don't you understand what I'm saying? We don't want to take the time to pause and listen deeply to somebody else to truly understand how they feel about something. And so, what I'm finding, or what I found to add to this discussion, is it takes courage to not ask other people how they feel about your work. It takes courage to be able to say, I'm not going to ask Cole for his opinion on this image. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to trust that I am good enough. And the bottom line is, what we learned from the retreat is everybody's good enough. You just need to make that decision of what you want your work to be.
The important thing of a diary entry is that it's honest and it's sincere.
Yeah.
And that's how we ought to view our personally expressive art.
Yeah. Good discussion. Good discussion. Really good food for thought today. Um, Again, comments below. We're always interested in your thoughts on, especially this one, because we're curious to know about the whole diary entry thought process. And do you agree, disagree, and why?